forces are in danger. They are trying to break into the buildings. The colony is under attack.
Hello and welcome to the Geek Show. I am Rob and I'm here today to talk to you about a video game. This one is There Are Billions, a video game from Numantian Games which dates all the way back to 2017, and now in late July 2019 it's adapted over to the PlayStation 4. Right, you probably noticed from this early bit of footage it's sped up considerably, not because I have any great reason, just I've done it so I can give you a gist of the game, what it looks like and the things that happen within it, rather than me extending this out to 30 minutes, which is longer than we need to be talking about this, or any game in fact. Right, so what is it? It's set in a timeline in which we are sort of in a steampunk age, and there is some sort of threat to humanity. Monsters are after humans, they want to eat them, they want to kill them and destroy them. So it's up to you as a group of people to make a last stand, to set up your base of operations and make a crack at surviving, which is translated in this game as a sort of, it's a strategy game, fundamentally, or base building strategy game. You could command and conquer, civilization, whatever you want to talk about. It's about getting natural resources, building natural resources, making people to do your jobs and defending yourself. Not so much as sort of the colonial way as some of those games, just sort of holding your ground for as long as you can, which is what the fundamentals of this game is. And as a sort of more more pick up and play iteration on the strategy game, because the whole idea of a strategy game is to be there for a long time, really invest in it. This, you have to build your base, you have to set up, but at the same time there are monsters that are coming to basically kill you. You can set up different settings to basically give yourself a bit of a leeway. You can have monsters come at a much higher rate, a much faster rate, and hit you. Or you can, as I did, because I'm terrible at games like this, make it a bit more leisurely. Because the thing about games like this, difficult games, you need the way in, and if you jump into a game like this on the most difficult setting, you're going to basically be throwing your pad at the controller. You're not throwing your pad at the controller? That makes no sense. Throwing your pad at the screen even, that makes sense. And that's the fundamental of it. It's the good and the bad about it. But let's focus on a little bit of the good. I mean, stylistically, I really enjoy sort of steampunk aesthetic of it, and the music, which you're hearing sort of subtly in the background, is very well implemented. It has a sort of rustic. It's not bombastic like a lot of steampunk things are. It's very homesy and homely. And it also has a lot of ambient sound, so wolves in the background, monsters gnawing, people just talking, so it has like a real nice ambience to it. It sets a scene and it sets a place. So I really enjoy that. I really dig the environment and the style and the atmosphere that it is going for, and it achieves it very successfully. But the issue is, I mean, it's not so much an issue with There Are Billions. It's more of an issue with adapting something from a sort of a keyboard and mouse control system to a controller, because you have to make sort of leaps to make it work really. I mean, there's shortcuts you can use on the keyboard and it's click, you go where you need to. But on this you need to drag the mouse around, and there's no shortcuts, so it's, when you are besieged by a lot of monsters, it's incredibly difficult at my skill level at least. I imagine it'd be a lot easier on a mouse and keyboard to actually deal with this stuff. So I mentioned that it was sort of pick up and play strategy title. I mentioned that because it's a very, very high difficulty curve, and getting the grips of it and really digging deep into it is a challenge. But at the same time, that is entirely intentional, because we're setting up a world. It has multiple different environments that you can open up by being successful at the game, and really challenging yourself to it. So it's intriguing. There's lots to do here. It's a baptism of fire, but I can't help but think that maybe having it on a console isn't the right decision. Well, not necessarily isn't the right decision. It's just a very hard sell, because you are constantly fighting with the controls. And as much as I like the style, and as much as I like the character of the thing, and as much as I like the concept, it's really bloody hard. Because I don't actually think there's ever been, I don't know, I won't go as far as ever, but there's a very small number of times where somebody has adapted or created a point and click game and made it work on a console. I know it's not point and click, and I know it's not strategy, but I think Pixel Junk have been quite close. As close as you're going to get. But there we go. It's a concept, a type of game, a genre, which doesn't 100% work on consoles, but despite that sort of genre limitations and hardware limitations, everything that this game does of its own volition, sans, being very small in the options that you click on, it does very, very well. So if you are wanting something that's completely different on the console market, give this a go. It really stands out as a nice, interesting bit of counter-programming.